What's up, FabCity? What's up? What's going on? Who is with me? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, FabCity? This morning, Yogi's tea, because you all know I start my day with green tea, said, from a mighty seed. No, wait. I think a mighty trunk may grow from a tiny seed. I don't have the cup with me right now, but it was something like that. I know you, if you drink green tea, you have received that message on your yogi. Today, what am I grateful for? Wow, I'm grateful for so much, but I'm grateful for grace. And I'm grateful for the power of God that lives in me, because it's been a challenging week. And I have to say that being the strong one all the time is not easy, right? It's not easy. And I know many of us are that one who has to be the strong one. And this week, I've been spoken to in ways that I didn't agree with, that I didn't like. And I realized that the way I could forgive people and have grace for them and self-express is totally not me. It is not me. And I wanted to ask you, how do you self-express? How do you, good morning, how do you express yourself? Because right now, in a time when we're suffering a loss in my family, there's a death, I'm getting to see how people express themselves, and some of it is ugly. Some of it, in my eyes, is immature, right? Some of it is just plain old hurt. It's inconsiderate, right? These are all my opinions, but I see how people self-express, and I wanted to ask you, how do you self-express? And I know I do a lot of writing and I do a lot of journaling, and that helps me. But my self-expression has really have turned to prayer, and it's been so much more helpful than a lot of other ways that I've self-expressed. And I'm saying this to you because we all go through things and we all suffer through things, and it's so important on how you choose to express yourself and how you choose to deal with your pain. And I'm saying this because last night I received a lot of pictures of my father and what he used to look like. And man, when I talk about handsome, amazing, hands down, like a straight boss, right? And I didn't even know that he had his own radio show, that he was a DJ. He was super funny. People would call in to listen to him and his jokes and his words of wisdom. And all this just blew my mind last night. And it brought me to tears, because I was like, oh my God, like what happened to that person, right? Why didn't I know that person? Or like what just happened? And what I found was that when he went through pain in his life, his self-expression, his solution to deal with pain was drugs and alcohol. He suffered a loss and he never got over it. He lost his mother, and he just continued to like drink and hang out and party and use drugs, to where he just lost himself, the amazing man that he was. And I think about this because I've even spoken to friends who have lost a sister or brother, and it's just like they've torn themselves down, and it's a shame. Like they've given up on life. They've lost hope, like because they lost someone. And it's like the decisions that you make and the way you choose to express yourself, they either make you or break you, man. They either make you into the person like God intended you to be, or just a total opposite. And when I get all these stories and I see all these pictures, I'm like, how a decision that you make today could truly affect your tomorrow. How are you expressing yourself when you're going through pain and suffering, right? Are you choosing to talk to others? Are you choosing to write, to sing, to worship, to pray, to be in community? Are you choosing to isolate, lock down, just cry and focus on negativity and lose yourself? Because what I learned yesterday was that my father had the potential to be, wow, I can't even tell you where he would be today. But because he suffered a loss and dealt with his pain in a way that was neglectful and abusive to his body and to his mind and to his soul, he lost who God had created him to be. So when you are going through these times, how are you expressing yourself? And I say this not even in a loss, like when your kids are giving you a headache, or when you're going through trying times with your husband, right? Or your business and you lost and you don't know what the mission or the purpose is, or you confused and you've lost the vision and all these things. How are you dealing with those things? Because the way you decide to deal with those things are going to affect you emotionally. And I just got to see that for myself, like how this person who had a vision and a dream and was so amazing, and oh my God, like I just heard from his cousin, like your father would have had one of the biggest talk shows ever, radio shows, like he was the man. And I saw pictures of him like in his blazer and just in a group, like conversating with people, and it was like he was so social, he was amazing with people. Like when he walked in the room, like people just gravitated towards him. They wanted to hear what he had to say. He had this energy to him. And I'm looking at this picture with him and people around him, and he's talking. And another picture, he's laughing, and he's like the life of the party. And I'm just like, how do you lose that person? And it's from being weak in your moments of pain. It's from making decisions that don't serve you. It's from just not believing and not having faith, right? Not calling out to people. And I say this because I know some people that need therapy. I know some people that need to talk to somebody, and they keep benching it. They keep putting it to the side, or it either costs too much, or I'm too busy with work, or I don't have the time, I'm working on something, or I got to do this with the kids. And it's like you need to sit and talk to somebody, and you know that you do. But then you get those moments where you feel a little better, or God and bless you with something, and you feeling a little alive, and then it's like you bench it again. And there's gonna come a time where this pain or insecurity or this thing revisits you, and it's gonna be for you to know that you need to go take action and go talk to somebody. You may need therapy, and I hear so many times it's expensive. It's $130 an hour. Okay. Some of us are spending that in our business on stuff, right? Some of us are spending that on food, on takeout, on ordering, on a lot of things. Like, is it too expensive to get therapy? It's too expensive to sit and talk to somebody about what you're feeling in your heart, what's going on, what emotions you're not processing, what you're not letting out. Like, stop ignoring this. And I'm telling you, this message came to me so strong today to tell you to stop ignoring that there's something in your life that you're not addressing, that you're covering up with it's okay and in prayer or whatever you're covering it up for, and you're not fully letting it out. And yesterday I cried and I let it out last night, and I talked to my husband, I even talked to my kids. Like, we're humans and we have a need to be heard, and we have a need to express, we have a need to release, and we feel sometimes like we're too busy to do that, or it's not the right time for that, or maybe later, or I gotta find the right person who's gonna listen to me. Sometimes you don't know who the right person is gonna be. How do you know that until you go and maybe get a free consultation or compliment? You just don't know. Like, what does that right person look like to you? And I say this because I even did that when I was looking for a coach. Like, what was I looking for physically that was going to reassure me that that's who I needed emotionally? Like, sometimes we make excuses, or we dress things up, and we just allow the wrong things to blind us and to just pull us away from what we really need. And I can't even tell you why. I'm even counting the days. I cannot wait for retreat. Like, I cannot wait for it, because I even know that that's going to be therapy for people who have been avoiding therapy. You know what I mean? For people who have been avoiding telling what's really in your heart. And some of us that are strong hide this because of our character, and we're too strong, and I'm not weak, and I can't cry. I can't even begin to tell you those things. And it's like, why not? We're all human. Why not? I've gotten on this camera and cried so many times because I'm human. And I can't hide what's in my heart. And when I try to hide it, what I do is I find something to occupy me or distract me, or I get busy, or I think about a new project. And when I do that, I keep covering it up, and it makes me feel stronger on one end. But I know on the other end, like I said, there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time when you're going to be weak, right? Weak in your strength, where you're going to call out, and God is going to say, I know you're calling out to me. I know I'm the answer. But he's going to want you to have this conversation with somebody, because there's somebody that he wants in your life. But you are not reaching out. You are avoiding it. So I'm telling you today, we all have our forms of self-expression. We all, right? We sing, we worship, we write, we paint. We all have our forms of self-expression. But if you know that you need to talk about some things in your life, and you cannot talk to your husband, and you cannot talk to a friend, and you can't talk to somebody that you know, you need to book an appointment to speak to somebody. Because I guarantee you that God is going to work in that session. Because he just always does. He knows when you're out seeking. He knows that. If you need this, stop putting it off, because there's going to come a time when you're going to run out and go do it, because you ain't do it today. And I say that to you because I looked at my text, because I'm still trying to put pieces together about my dad's death and, things like that. And I look at a text 13 days ago. I text somebody that I hardly ever see, but I know he's a prayer warrior. I text him 13 days ago, and I said, and I looked at this text this morning because, like I said, I'm still just trying to piece things together in my own head. And 13 days ago, I said, I need you to pray for me. I said, because God is doing something. I don't know what it is. He's preparing me for something that I feel like is big. And then 13 days later, my father died. But I was reaching out because I needed prayer. But some of us need to reach out to speak to someone. And I say this because when we build communities of women, it's not just for health. It's not just for business. I'm really wanting to build this community for wellness on another level, for mental health, and for peace in our soul. For us to not only see God, but for us to call on each other and say, you know what, I'm not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. Because you're in the hands of God. So it's okay to not be okay. But it's not okay for you to hold it in and act like you're okay. So that's my prayer for you today. I love you all. It's important to self-express. Don't feel like, I had somebody tell me this the other day and say, I don't call out because I don't want to burden people with my problems. And I said, God put all of us here for a reason. And there's a reason there's people that are therapists, psychiatrists. God anointed them for that. God anointed them. And I looked yesterday for a counselor, for a therapist. And how when I'm looking, this man stands out to me. And I'm like, there's something about my click. He's a Christian therapist, right? Faith-based. And I'm like, that is just no coincidence. That is super weird. Oh my God, right? But God has anointed people to sit and listen to you and to pray for you. That's an extra prayer warrior, right? That's somebody who's going to be able to hear the things that you're not telling anyone else. So if you have thought about this and you, for some reason, even ask yourself, why haven't I? Why when I thought about this, that I needed it, what made me not go out and get it? What made it okay to not need it anymore? What happened that you just didn't make the appointment or just said forget it or later? What happened that changed that for you? Think about that. And if it was just a distraction or maybe a conversation got better, I don't think those things are good enough or big enough. And I don't think those little things that happen to bring some little joy back into your life really touch the pain point, the thing that you will feel again, maybe in a week, maybe later on, maybe in 2 months. We need healing, true healing. We need to be heard. We need to speak. We need connection. We need release. And it needs to be real from the heart and outpour. So I ask you today to go and get that. If you put this appointment off, go and get that. And this message, I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying this because I'm Tyesha and I just want to say it. Right? I'm saying this because it's in my mind and my heart for a reason. And who puts things in my heart and my mind is God. And he asked me to share these messages because there's people holding on to things or just feeling better off of... Sorry, just saw a couple of birds flying in. Just feeling better off of things that are just temporary. And it's that permanent. It's that letting go. It's that bringing the walls down. It's all right being weak in that moment, you know. And I'm super strong. And I've been holding in a lot, and I've even been trying to take on everybody else's way of self-expressing in my family, and it's hard because everybody's grieving in different ways that I can't understand, and that's hard. So I know that I need, even though I'm strong, I need to release. Because I'm a mom and I'm raising kids, because I'm a leader, because I'm a coach, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur. So I have to make sure that I'm clean before I move on to lead other people. And I need to make sure that I take my own advice if I'm going to be out here telling people to heal their hearts, right? And to seek love and guidance and therapy. I need to make sure that I'm taking my own advice, because right now I feel like I'm in God's eyes and his light, and everything I do has to be right. It has to be aligned. I can't lie about anything. I can't give advice that I'm not taking myself, because it's just going to go against everything that God wants for other people. And if I've been the messenger to bring this message to them, then I have to be doing the actual work that I'm asking them to do. So if you are a leader, if you are a mom, if you are a coach, and you're out there promoting wellness and healing and laughter and happiness and joy and peace and fulfillment, then make sure you're doing the right thing for yourself. And you know what you need. So I want you to go out and get what you need. I love you. Have an amazing, amazing morning. I cannot wait. I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for retreat, because this is going to be healing. We're not going to be hanging out and just having coffee and laughing. This is going to be healing. This is for some of the really strong ones. Some of the ones who've been through so much stuff and handled and took the grit and been the backbone for the family. It's time for them to sit down in that hot seat and really release, because we need that, right? Because if you think about it now, and I'll leave you with this, the reason why I think I'm being called to do this, because the amount of people that we're going to lead and influence is going to double, is going to triple, is going to quadruple. Because if God anointed us to be leaders and speakers and authors, it's not for 3 people. It's not for 4 people. He's sending us soon to the masses. He's going to have us speak to a whole ton of people. So we got to be healed, and we have to help other people heal, because that's what he wants. So I love you. Have an amazing, amazing morning. Please, please go out and make that appointment, man. Even if you have one session, even if the session is 30 minutes, even if you had it and you didn't like it, like, go out and do it, man. I'm really asking you to do this. This is heavy on my heart, and I'm asking you to do this because it's important. It's important for you. It's important in your marriage. It's important in your motherhood and in your business. It's going to be important that you reach down and shed light on the things that you didn't even know were there yet. Some of us don't even know. Things are coming up for me now that I didn't even know were there. You know, like feelings for my dad and love that I'm starting to feel for other people, and being able to take on everybody else's grief has made me realize that I got some things that I need to talk about, because it's not easy being the strong one. So I need someone, right? So you need someone too. I love you. Have an amazing, amazing day. And listen, I'm counting down the days, man. There's like 17 days to retreat. So I don't care what you're dealing with right now, because I'm dealing with shit right now. You need to be there. You need to get there, because this is 3 days of intense love, intense healing. We're going to be praying. We're going to really be tapping into what is it that God wants for us and what's holding us back, and how can we get there? How can we be there for one another? How can we let go of pain? How can we begin to process emotions that we've been, shutting down and ignoring and, allowing ourselves to be distracted? How can we do that so that we can better serve our God and serve the people and help the people that he's called us to? I love you, and I will talk to you all soon. I love you. I love you. I love you. Somebody send me a message and tell me you booked an appointment, or you booked a coffee chat, or you booked something to speak and release what's weighing on your heart. I love you.